What is up, everybody? Denny Mage here, and welcome back to the table. And I'm actually really excited because there is some amazing news about a very important card game to me that I haven't played in a very long time. And they did a very awesome announcement. I'm getting it pulled up really quick. And here it is. We got the entire Chaotic Returns with physical cards announcement right here on their website. And I'm really excited about this because this is the game I played a lot. And after we go over this entire website and this news report, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my main deck that I played that I still have actually in the tin. So once we get through this. So, Chaotic Returns with physical cards, organized play, and a new online experience. This came back in May 20th, 2026. So a couple last month, almost a couple weeks ago. The battle droves are reopening today. Chaotic Entertainment, in partnership with Panini America, I think I got that right, officially announced the relaunch of the iconic trading card game Chaotic. The revival will debut with an all-new lineup of physical trading cards, a nationwide organized play program, and innovative online experience backed by AWS Games. The initial Chaotic card release is scheduled for later October 2026. So this year in October, we will see Chaotic coming back. Let's continue on. Special retailer, hobby stores, specialty retailer, GameStop, and EB Games Canada. So hobby stores, GameStop, and a couple places and unique stores in Canada will get first grabs at this. So you might want to start considering checking with your LGSs if they're going to stock Chaotic when it comes back up, and also get right into GameStop. This will be followed by a major retailer release in January 2027. So that'll be like your Walmarts, Kmart, Targets, not Kmart's. Kmart is where I used to buy Chaotic cards. That's part of my story with Chaotic. The first starter decks and booster packs will introduce players to the rich story of the world of Param with 4 distinct creature tribes, innovative battle geared, explosive attacks, and immersive locations and powerful music. That means the 4 distinct tribes, we're going back to where we're just having Overworld, Underworld, Danian, and Mepedians. Marillions and all that might be going away. The relaunch is reporting via 79 upscale high-definition chaotic animated episodes. That is amazing. I loved the animated series a lot when I was getting into this game. All right, so here's the homepage. This is all about Chaotic. I recommend you guys go to the website. I'll put it across the screen really quick and down in the link down in the description below as well about what you can do. So there is a couple things I want to speculate though, because here's the portal to Param. So this is all about your different tribes that you can pick. So you have your overworld creatures, and this goes through all of the different major creatures you can experience from that tribe, including ones that I don't remember seeing actually in the physical card game. But you can go through all of them. You can go through the Underworld, Danian, Mepedian, attacks, battle music, location. You can go through all of this stuff, everybody. I'm being serious. You will be able to go through all of these and check them out. And I'm really curious if this means that they're going to have like a 2.0 relaunch of some of the beginning sets of Chaotic and allow new players who have not played this back when it originally came out to re-experience the game for us who did play it, and for those who haven't to experience for the first time. So here's like the Mujiks, and Mujic is music and magic put together, and I love it. I absolutely love Mujiks as a concept. Battle gear as equipment, being able to put on everything. Then on this website, you have the animation. You have the first 7 episodes available to you. You have Welcome to Chaotic 1, Part 2, The Unexpected, Over, Under, Rent, Asunder, Crash Course, The Thing About Bodil, and Bugging Out. The first 7 episodes of the animated series, back in the classic cartoon style, not the newer age. The newer age stuff was pretty cool, but oh my gosh. About Chaotic, we already read that a little bit. So this is, I'm just so excited to be able to see it all. And then you have the login. Login to watch Remastered Chaotic TV series in HD. So currently it looks like the login will just be able to let you come in and experience more of the show. But guys, I am so excited for this to come back. I have so many good memories of Chaotic, being able to build everything. I have a good, strong collection of the cards still in my possession. I played an Overworld deck a lot, and we're going to be getting into the actual deck that I played when I was playing Chaotic regularly. My one close friend of me, who I got into Chaotic when it was out of print and it wasn't being made anymore, I got him into the Mepedian tribe, specifically with the War Beasts. And each tribe is so good. And I would love to bring Chaotic content to the TCG channel like this and being able to play and do all these crazy things. I have a couple hopes that they do like a remastery of all the classic sets. So that way all the original cards will get a chance to kind of come back out again and have like the ability to get cards that you couldn't originally get in the beginning. And then introducing new cards that a lot of us classic players never got. And then when it comes down, in the original Chaotic game online, they have a 9-digit code on the bottom of the cards that you, it was like a 9 or 12-digit code. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head without having a card in my hand, but you had a code that you typed in and redeemed the card online so you could play it online. So when everything went down, I don't know if all of the accounts went away, because I had an account and I was able to do some online trades through that, and I had a couple decent cards I really liked, or if they are going to let everyone start from scratch and all of the original codes can then come back. I don't know. We'll have to see about the difference from the classic cards to the new cards. Enough about all this. I really want to show you guys my overworld deck, so let's go ahead and look down on the table, and I'm going to run you guys through my overworld deck.
So we are now done looking at the website, and like I was saying, here is the actual deck I was playing. I have it in an Underworld colored scanner tin. I never was much of an Underworld player. I mostly played the Overworld tribe, so get this funny card out of the way. So yeah, I was mostly an Overworld tribe player, and we're going to go over the different creatures, the battle gear I ran, the Mujix, all of the different locations, and then end it with the large stack of attacks. They should all still be in order. So this should be a pretty quick and easy rundown. We're going to go over the creatures first, starting off with my primary main man, the Overworld leader himself, Mexor. His 2 Magicians being able to heal to any creature is really useful. Fire, earth attacks, decent, very powerful creature that I used a lot in the front line. One of the main Magicians I used, one of the strategists, was Vidov. His ability to spend a Magician to heal. Found that super duper useful. Another one I like to use on occasion was Lystone. She was great when she wasn't even under brainwashed condition with a Marillion on the board. As long as I was able to use this top one where I can use 2 Magicians to give 30 to all disciplines, I found it very useful. A situational used one, Hune Marquard. I'd only ever use him if I had a feeling that my opponent was running Danians. Other than that, he can be a kind of a nice character. Kabara, or Karaba, my bad, is another Muge where he was able to heal to target creature for each Muge counter on him. Pairing him up, I have the Battle Gear Magician's Lyre in here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I do. And I always paired him with that because then he'd have more Magicians to use. So really great as a healer. One of the Guardians I like to play was Zolek. Zolek was really fun, had a high health, no energy attacks per se, but his ability to heal himself in a fight was always nice. He was always one of my go-to front lines. Tanketh Toborn, the main lion himself, being able to spend his 1 Magician to heal him, and if you pair him with his sword, he just destroyed everybody. I always loved playing him. And then my favorite attacker outside of Maxor was Crossectus. He already had Earth 5, and then I would always end up actually pairing him with the Torrent Crinth, making it to where both of his attacks were a lot stronger all the time. So these are the lineup of the 8 creatures I'd keep in my tin, and how I'd like shuffle them around in battle was always different. I could have like a battle of 3, no problem, a 1v1 battle. Like this was always very easy to sculpt around and figure out because I was able to situationally change and have a pretty balanced out team. So I've always ran these as my primary creatures in all my battles. Going into the battle gear, we have, like I was already talking with Crossectus, the Torrent Crinth. Being able to give him Water 5 was always helpful. That way his Earth and Water attacks were doing extra damage. And I also have a location in here that boosted him up. I have the Sword of Kayat. When equipped with Tanketh Toborn, well, it says equipped creature is a warrior. It gains, when this creature deals 20 or more attack damage, deal 5 damage to target creature. So basically, he can make it to where an attack does 25. Gave some extra energy and some extra speed, so it was pretty helpful on those fronts as well. The extra energy especially. Next up, after the Torrent Crinth, after the Sword of Kayat, we have the Vlarek Shard. Cryptid creature gets its earth attacks boosted. Traditionally, I put this with Maxor as a little boost to his elemental attacks. It's also pretty well round. If you give it to Crossectus, it gives him basically +5 twice on his earth attack, so it was always fun. The Ring of Narin, equipped creature gets 10 power and 10 wisdom, and if it has at least 50 courage, it gains 10 energy. Really powerful on the strategists and the muges, so that way they got a little extra boost to their disciplines as well, and that extra 10 energy in case they need it in a battle. We have the Magician's Lyre. This is able to be sacrificed and give a creature as a magician. Like I said, played this mostly with Kiraba, I always mix his name up. Just for the extra muge. And then finally, the last item that I ran with the most was the Ice Cloak, just that way I can get Fireproof 10, and it's just useful that way. Creature gets Fireproof 10, and when it is revealed at the beginning of the battle, it gains Fireproof 10 until the end of the turn, so it gives it Fireproof 20. So it can like cancel out one super strong fire attack in one go. So only 6 battle gear that I ran with consistently, but each one was able to get put on a creature, so I never stressed too much about my battle gear choices. And now we get to the Mugix, music and magic all in one. We start off with a generic, before I get too carried away. Make sure they're all sorted by generics to non-generics. Okay, we're going to start with our generic Mugix. We have Caster's War Song. This deals 5 damage to target creature. If the caster is a Muge, deal an additional 10 damage to that creature. I'm running a couple Muges in here, so Caster's War Song has been able to go for the 15 damage. Next up is Prelude to Dominance. This just does 10 damage to a creature as a generic. A lot of the damaging Mugix belong to the Underworld tribe, so being able to have damage on generic Mugic, always useful. Next up is Decrescendo. This deals 5 damage to target creature. So as you can see, all 3 of my generics do damage to a creature. Now we get into Echoes of Empty Hands. An overworld Mugic. Destroy all battle gear equipped to target engaged creature. That creature gains 10 energy until the end of the turn. So this is modal. I can destroy my opponent's battle gear if it's too strong, or I can destroy my own. If I destroy my own, I heal, so it could be a necessary sacrifice, but most of the times you can get rid of an opponent's. Next, we have Hymn of the Elements. Target creature gains an element type of your choice till the end of the turn. So put this on like Maxor or Tanka Toborn or any of my muges or strategists. It just allows them to where an elemental attack can be used. Pretty balanced out for the overworld tribe. We have Song of Resurgence, the go-to healing Mugic in the overworld. Heal 20 energy to target creature. It is the go-to. It is just simple and always effective. Last but not least, we have Song of the Dyad. This is the only overworld Mugic that can deal damage, but it also heals damage. So we can either heal 10 damage to target creature or deal 10 damage to target creature. This is my lineup of the 7 Mugics I run. 4 of them do damage and 3 of them can heal, so it kind of balances itself out. It's mostly meant to be a response or a way to take something out if I don't get enough damage all the way through. Mugics have definitely decided a few games for me when I played Chaotic a lot when I was younger. Now we get into the stack of the different locations I'm running. So we're going to start with the one up top, Gloomuk Swamp. This is a great location. The initiative is with the highest courage, and earth attacks deal an extra 5 damage. So you get Cross Sectus or Maxor or Tangator, anyone here, the earth attacks really stack up, and then dealing fire damage is reduced by 5. So those creatures I listed off, they also get a little bit weaker too. Alrighty, now we get into the Forest of Life. The initiative goes to the one with the highest wisdom. At the beginning of combat, the engaged creature with the highest power gains 5 energy. A lot of overworlders that I'm running on my front line have high power, so I've never stressed, but sometimes you might lose this out to it. But when you're the one on the when you're on the one choosing the attack, you get to pick who you fight. So we'll have probably a video one day where we go over how that works. Kordak Falls, initiative goes to the overworld tribe. That's really good for us. So we'll almost always have the overworld boost. And at the beginning of combat, all engaged creatures gain 5 energy. So a little bit of a helper for my opponents and myself. The Barracks, initiative goes to the one with the highest power, and if a warrior control was engaged this turn, you may move that creature to an open adjacent space at the end of combat. So you get to move again. So at the end of it, you immediately move, and then you can do another movement after that. So pretty good. Overworld Embassy at Mount Pillar. So this is really good if you know you're going up against a Danian deck as well. So the initiative goes to Wisdom, and when Overlord Embassy at Mount Pillar becomes the active location, uninfect all creatures. So this is really good because the Danian has the tribe has the ability to infect and turn your creatures into Danians. This takes that away. Runic Grove, the highest courage, gains the initiative, and only generic music can be played here, hence why I'm running 3 generic music, so this can really turn down some people. Gigantopolis, initiative goes to those with the highest power, and at the beginning of combat, each engaged overworld creature gains a magician. Basically, my creatures get an extra magician here. Now we get into the Forest of Life during Iceless, so this is a different location than our original Forest of Life to some degree. This is great if you know you're going up against Mepedian players. Initiative goes to the highest power, and all creatures are immune to the invisible abilities. So if a Mepedian is playing and it says invisible surprise 10, you take away that surprise 10. It doesn't do that 10 extra damage on its first attack. The Riverlands, Cross Sectus' hometown. The initiative goes to Wisdom, and if a creature deals water damage, Riverlands heals that creature 5 energy. Super powerful with Cross Sectus, especially when you pair him up with all of his water attacks. Had good luck here. Stronghold Mourn, this is going to the initiative of Speed, and at the beginning, all engaged creatures gain all element types. So they gain fire, water, air, and earth attacks. And this is a unique, so you can only run the one in your deck. You cannot run more than 1 Stronghold Mourn in your deck. Vidav's Refectorum, initiative goes to Wisdom. At the beginning, when this becomes the active location, each player draws 2 attack cards and discards. So this is really good to like filter out yourself so you don't have to worry about dead cards in your hand. It's really good at that at the beginning of the battle. Last but not least, we have the Lava Pond. The initiative goes to Speed, and Fire deal an additional 5 damage and reduce the air damage by 5. And unfortunately, if you're the creature Magmon, you get an additional Fire 5, so Fire 10 for Magmons. If you ever have Lava Pond in your deck, don't ever target Magmon for the attack, you'll always win. So yeah, this is the lineup. All 12 of these locations. As you can see, like 2 of my locations right here, the Overworld Embassy and the Forest of Life are situationals, so these get dropped a lot, and you can see like the main 10 that I'm running. So this is a pretty efficient deck, but if I know I'm going up against a Danian, I'll swap around to where I have Overworld Embassy in the at Mount Pillar in here. If I'm going against Mepedians, I'll run Force of Life. Really useful set of locations. I've had nothing but fun with all 10 of these. There's a couple of them I'd probably change out, but I also never had a chance to collect all the cards. Just like in the creatures, if I had Nazareth in here, I'm pretty sure his name's Nazareth, the one Muge, I'm going to put his picture right here. He's like the best overworld Muge you can run. I just don't have a card of him, and I don't want to buy these cards on eBay sometimes, but who cares? Last but not least, we have the attacks. We're going to go in order from 0 to 1 to 2, and then we're going to end it on the 3s, and it gets pretty crazy. Starting off, we get Symmetry Slam. This deals 5 damage for each elemental type shared with both engaged creatures. This is overpowered when you're at Stronghold Mourn because both you and your opponent are all 4, so this will deal 20 damage to your opponent, but this could also just be like 5 to 10 depending on who you have battling. So Symmetry Slam is a pretty cool attack. It is a 0 cost, so you can put it in your deck without any issues. It's been a while since I've made an attack deck in Chaotic, so I'd have to double check the rules on how many points they are. I'll put how many points an attack deck is allowed to have right here. But yes, next up, we have Reckless Reproach. This is great if you're going up against a Mepedian Warbeast. If the imposing engaged creature has Recklessness, deal damage equal to that creature's Recklessness value. So this can just hurt a Warbeast on the spot. We run a Delirium. This is a stat check. If you have 50 Wisdom, this deals 5 damage. Same with Spirit Gust, this checks Courage. A lot of my creatures in the overworld run high Courage, so this almost always just does 5 damage. Quick Exit Challenge. So a challenge is you have to have the Wisdom amount higher than your opponent. So for Challenge Wisdom, if I have 15 more than you, this does 10 damage. This is what really pairs well with Lystone, because you can then boost your stats, and then all of these challenge and check skills win. Same goes with Flash Warp. If you have 15 or more power, this deals 10 damage. Shadow Strike, this does Courage, and this is the last of our 0 cost attacks. So this is a pretty like balanced, efficient attack scheme you can run in Chaotic. The only attack in here that'll get dropped on occasion is Reckless Reproach, and that's only if I know I'm not going up against a Mepedian player who likes to use Warbeasts. If I don't think I'm going up against a Mepedian Warbeast, I'll take that out, and then that way I don't have a dead card in my attack deck. Now we're going to get to the 1-cost cards. This would be Flash Kick. This is a very efficient card at sculpting the top of your location deck. Look at the top 2 cards of your location deck. Put one of them on top and the other on bottom. I have 2 of them in here. Almost always these get in there. It does 5 damage, so it's pretty consistent. Next up, we have Vine Snare. This does 5 damage for base and 5 damage if you're an Earth attacker. And if you're an Earth attacker, opposing creature loses 25 speed until end of turn. So this can really help out with dropping some speed. Next up is Ember Swarm. 5 base damage, 5 fire elemental damage. This does, on the fire effect, opposing engaged creature loses 25 wisdom. So really useful. I only have the 1 in here. I wish I had more, but as you can probably remember from my creatures, I run more earth and water attackers than fire because it's only, I believe, Maxor and Tangoth Toborn that have access to fire, so that's why. Next up is Gear Grind. This does 5 damage and turn all face-up battle gear face down, so this can make it to where battle gear is completely removed from a fight. I only run one of these because it doesn't feel like that often it should be getting played. I probably could put a second one in here, but who cares. Next up, we have 2 Ash Torrent. Oh, my bad. 1. Next up, we have 1 Ash Torrent. This does Fire and Earth 5, no base damage, and this does a challenge for an extra 10. So this is kind of like a Maxor, Tangoth Toborn bread and butter attack. We got Squeeze play right up here, and this allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your attack deck and put one of them on top of that deck and the other on the bottom. So like Flash Kick, this allows you to sculpt the top of your deck, but this is for your attack deck, and it does 5 base damage. This is a Cross Sectus favorite. We have Rust Toxic. This does earth and water 5 damage. So if it's Cross Sectus, it does quite a bit more. And this does a challenge for courage on 10 extra damage if you have it. We have Pebble Storm as our final 1 costing attack. This does 5 air and 5 earth damage. So this is the last of our 1 cost attacks. This is just a really good grab since the majority of my deck does specialize in earth attacks. I'm so happy to be talking about this. I love Chaotic so much. It's so much fun. All right. Next up, we're on to the 2 costs. There's not many 2 costs. Oh, my bad. There's quite a few 2 costs. It's the 3 costs that we don't have much of. So first up on the 2 costs, we have Torrent of Flame. I'm running one of them. This does fire 10 damage and water 10 damage. So Maxor and Cross Sectus both love this attack. Now we got Slow Sand. This is a really powerful earth attack, and it does dip into air. This does earth. Engaged creature loses 25 speed. Next up, we have Enlightened Tenacity. This does an earth 5 damage, and it has 3 levels of stat checks for 30, 50, and 70. If you meet all 3 of these stat checks, you get the bonus damage. So on high end, this can do 20 damage for a pretty good cost. We got Desiccated the Land. This does 5 base with an air, earth, and water effect. The earth does 0, but if it is an attack card, if an attack card named Desiccate the Land is in your attack discard pile, you can heal damage. So this is only really good if you have more than 1. I only have the 1, so we go for that. Skeletal Strike. This is a challenge of Courage 15 with a base of 10. If you have a 15 higher Courage, it does an extra 10 damage. Pretty fun, easy to play attack card. We have Freeze Flash, my bad, which does air and earth 10 with a water effect, where if opposing creature loses 25 speed as long as we have the water attack attribute. We run 2 copies of Granite Balls, which has 5 base power and does an extra 5. And if your engaged creature is a warrior, it deals 10 damage, and the engaged creature may spend a Magician to prevent this damage. So if Maxor or Tangoth Toborn is playing with this attack, it does extra damage, but they can negate it. So sometimes this doesn't always do our 20. We run Denialation, which is great against Danian players. This is a great way to get extra damage on them if they... So fire 5, base 5, and does 10 extra damage if they're a Danian. Last for our 2 cost attacks, we have Thundershout, which is an air and earth 10. So this is mostly just an earth attack for our deck. Now we get into the 2 3 cost cards in the deck. We run 2 Terraports. This is a earth 5, base 5, and if we have the earth attribute, we can sacrifice our earth attribute and change our location to the top location of our deck. Pairs great with Flash Kick. Last but not least, we have the strongest of our attacks, which is Lavalanche. Earth Fire attribute boosted, base 10 damage, Fire 5, Earth 10. Or Earth 5. In the end, yeah, this is the entire Overworld deck that I went everywhere with. This is the box I kept it in, and I'm really excited for the announcement of Chaotic to be coming back. 2026 of October, maybe I can convince my local game store to buy some of the products so I can try to get this going. If not, I'm just going to have to wait for its major release in January of 2027 for me to get back on the bandwagon. I don't know if I will be able to play with this deck anymore or if it will be outdated, so only time will tell. Again, everyone, thanks for showing up today, and I hope you see me next time at the table.